on.
We are the
few. We are the Marines. Actually, almost Marines. I don't know. The
Polar
Marines
bears?
go through snow.
polar bears, at least.
Yeah, polar bears. We are the polar bears.
Oh. Good morning. Glad we're able to be here this morning.
I am too.
Are we on?
You know, it's, we are on. It is. This is February the 7th. It's not Groundhog Day. That's February the 2nd.
5 days ago.
But it snowed again.
Yep.
And
all night.
We're looking to be able to have people start coming back to have our Sunday Disciples together. And we even prepared a little bit for it today, but it snowed again. And I am so glad that we've got electronic connection so we can be able to have church together, even if we can't be together.
Right.
And heating. I'm very glad for heating.
Yeah, you know, in fact, I think I'm just sick and tired of snow already.
Ah, I see what you did there. That's kind of the beginning of the theme for this morning.
It is.
Sick and
Sick
tired.
and tired. Sick and tired.
Yeah.
Sick and tired.
Unless you can cuddle up in a blanket and read
That's
a
the
good book.
gospel lesson for this 5th week of Epiphany, you know, the aha time when we're seeing, what is Jesus about? What just is Jesus' ministry about? And I think this is going to be something that we can talk about, not just with children, but also with adults. So this is really an intergenerational opportunity for us to realize that Jesus cares. He cares for people who are sick, but he also recognizes he's not going to deal with everything the same way that we think he should. You know, he's going to bring something more. So, Judy, do you want to take us off?
Well, being sick, so many of us have been sick this year. And the common stuff like flu and colds, we're wiping our nose, allergies, all of those things can make us sick for a week or two. And then along came
Coronavirus. Yeah. I have to say that I think wearing the mask, I've gotten less colds and less flu this year. You know,
Yes,
I
it
probably
does.
have been spared some things.
I was gonna say, the only thing I have gotten this year is coronavirus.
Yeah, that's right. You have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a broken bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, not shaking hands and just
That was
being aware of health. But I'm sick of all the sickness, you know, the coronavirus. And I think it's fair for us to acknowledge that. We appreciate all the work that's being done and the fact that there is something coming through. But
When
you're
you
right.
say when you say that you are sick and tired of something, how do you feel in your gut, in your inside?
You know, it's not just that I get, that's a good question. It's not just that I get sick in physical ways, but there's also some mental ways.
Yeah,
that
you lose your
happen.
smile.
You lose your smile,
little
you
grumpy.
get depressed.
Yeah.
I had somebody who asked me some time back, you know, here's a good way of telling if you're really healthy. When is the last time that you danced? When is the last time that you really laughed? When is the last time that you really smiled? And I thought, that is a good indicator, not just of the physical things, but the health of the mindset too. You know,
Maybe that's the question then. How do you know when you're sick?
Yeah.
how do we know when we're sick? Maybe that's a good way of starting off.
Sometimes someone else has to tell us because we're just so busy, we're not paying attention. And they notice that the smile isn't there. They notice that you
Aren't dancing?
No, you're not dancing. You're running around with your head off. You can't focus, though, you know, kind of a thing. But also, there's other ways that we know that we have a cold. We have lots of Kleenex around.
And then suddenly it's all gone.
Yeah.
That's how I know somebody's sick.
And somebody sticks a thermometer in our mouth.
I noticed too when we start getting a little snippy at each other. You know, and it's and we
When
just
you have
started
a fever,
getting.
you don't feel good.
Amy never does. Amy and Lance never do. No, you know, no, it happens with all of us, doesn't it? No. The halo around your head, Amy. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
And then,
You know, actually, I think it's important for us to realize it happens to all of us.
yes, yes.
That
It does.
none of us are immune from that.
That's
Yeah.
in common. And we also need to think about the ways that we can make ourselves feel better while we deal with a fever, or while we deal with aches and pains, or sadness, that kind of thing. And I was gonna bring some pictures, and I forgot them, of, you know, the 6 things that Spark thought of. The Spark program were the Band-Aids,
Oh, things that
Okay.
heal us?
All right.
Maybe we can think of those
the
together.
thermometer I mentioned.
A thermometer is a way that tells us if we're, okay.
What do you-
Band-Aids, thermometer.
What foods do you want brought
Oh,
to
the
you
brat
when you're...
diet,
Oh,
right? Which is-
Lance
brat,
said soup.
brat.
What kind of soup?
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah. And maybe 7-Up and crackers.
7-Up, yeah, or ginger ale.
Yeah, and I brought, they didn't think of
Jello.
Ah.
Yeah,
Jello and sherbet.
Jello is very
Thing.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
For me, growing up, it was orange tang with bubbly water, made with bubbly water, and that was what my mom always made me when I had an upset stomach,
Oh, very
and it
good.
was, I still want it when I'm sick.
Very good.
Because it's not, I think part of it is it's not just those things that physically help us, it's those things that help us on the inside to
Yeah.
make us feel better, to make us feel more like dancing.
Yeah, Mom and Dad would put their hand on us and touch us. Oh,
You know-
I bet you don't feel good. You have a fever.
That's right, and if
Yeah.
you feel
Or-
warm,
Yeah,
you feel
yeah.
warm.
Or rub your back or
and
your chest with
tiredness,
Vicks.
And just sleeping,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
tiredness.
leave me
is
alone. I want to sleep.
Tiredness is a big
Yeah.
thing too, yeah.
That's right.
You know, I think, wasn't there somebody sick in the story that we're hearing today?
Well, I wanted to start just by saying, you know, I think it's amazing when people feel sick, they don't feel very faithful. In fact, they don't feel very much of anything at all. They feel rather lethargic is the word, you know? They don't feel like, and Jesus never.
We become pretty self-centered to take care of ourselves.
And Jesus
and
did
asking
not
people
say,
to help
okay,
us.
are you ready to get healed? You know, are you faithful? Jesus didn't do that.
No.
He didn't start with that. I think he recognized that people need to be cared for. We get a whole bunch of little things where Jesus brings healing in some way. Do we have somebody's phone going on?
Yeah. Maybe that's something that happens when we're sick too. We get distracted from what we want to be doing.
Yeah. Well, and in fact, you know, Jesus healed so many people, and there were so many distractions that were going on. Okay.
Shall we hear the story?
Yeah, I've got the story, and it's in the Spark Bible.
You were
And once
thinking
again,
of 2 stories.
I was thinking of 2 stories because last week we missed a story, you know, where Jesus brought teaching and healing to somebody, and it's 2 stories in the Spark Bible. And once again, if you want a copy of the Spark Bible, we will get one for your family. The Spark Bible tells the story, the biblical story, in just a delightful way. But
Our friend Anita called, and we delivered one to her.
yep, and you know, we can pass some others out. So, do you want to be Jesus in the story?
Okay.
Ooh, I'll
Okay.
act it out.
All right. Jesus was in the synagogue. He picked up a scroll and he began to read out loud. But just then a sick man sitting near Jesus began to shake. The sick man shouted at Jesus. Shh, be quiet. Silence, the crowd said to the man. You could do that, Michael. That's sometimes what we say to the sick people. Don't bother us. Don't bother us. And the people did not care about the man, but Jesus did. Jesus stopped his teaching. He wanted the man to be well.
Be still, he said to the sick man. Be well.
The sick man became peaceful and quit shaking. The people said in amazement, "What is this?
Was ist das?
He even cures the sick."
He even cures the sick.
Because of this event, news of Jesus' power began to spread among the people. And now we get today's story. Jesus enjoyed teaching and healing. People everywhere heard that Jesus was a healer. They brought their sick family and friends to Jesus so he could heal them. When Jesus was near sick people, he could have gotten sick too, but Jesus didn't get sick. Instead, Jesus healed the people. He went out of his way to help. And early one morning, Simon Peter went to his friend Simon Peter's. Jesus went to his friend Simon Peter's house. Simon Peter was very upset. We'll let Micah read. He can be Simon Peter's.
Jesus, my wife's mother has a terrible fever. I know you have healed people in many places. Would you please heal her too?
There we go. Jesus could feel how sad his friend was. He knelt down next to the woman. He held her hand. Boy, that's something I miss right now too, is human touch, I think. He held her hand and he healed her. You want to finish it?
Jesus and his friends kept going from town to town, healing others and teaching people about God's love. You know, that's what it's all about.
One thing that this misses is that after Jesus healed a lot of people, he had to go off to a mountain to pray. I think that's where he found his healing, you know, going off to pray and to just say, Jesus needed an infusion of God's love too. Yeah. So Jesus did care about sick people. And in fact, in the sermon, I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of other people that Jesus cared for too. You know, other sick people.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories where Jesus is healing. One of the things that we like to do in Sunday Disciples is to take the Bible story and to come up with an activity that's related to it. Like Jesus being invited to a home, Simon's home, and he heals a family member who's sick with a fever. And Jesus got busy with her and did what he needed to do. I'm going to show you an activity we can make to inspire our sense of caring. It's called a caring flip chart.
Is that what I have here?
Yes,
Oh.
you do.
Can I take it up and show them?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
What is
We'll
it,
look at the
Judy?
steps.
Can you explain what it is?
It's a chart of magazine or newspaper. It's
Judy, you
pictures
may wanna
of
go up
people
and
caring.
share what the pictures are about.
The first one looks like a couple out hiking with a dog.
They're helping each other to be safe along the way with their special little fuzzy friend.
So this one. I think it's a basket full of puppies.
Yeah, caring and loving our pets is also important and shows that we love God.
Ooh, hey Judy, what's happening to this one?
Ah, that person is cleaning. With the coronavirus and other viruses around, we've discovered how very important it is to wash surfaces, to have a spray that's disinfecting. Yeah, and with sports, we work as a team. Teamwork is really important. Jesus
That's why you put that one in.
inspires us to work together to help
Okay.
each other. Yeah.
And on the front it says, show others God's love. Okay, so how do we make this?
Alrighty, we need, you can use construction paper, or you can use heavier paper, tag, what do we call?
So we need paper
Uh-huh,
and
scissors,
Oh.
hole,
scissors,
a hole punch, markers.
hole punch,
Glue, we need glue
Marker.
or tape.
I'll take
And
some
if
of the
you need
cardstock.
maybe
Glue.
a stapler.
I'll take some of the cardstock.
There
okay.
you go. Okay.
And it looks like you already cut some of these into cards
I
with
did,
holes.
and I already punched them so that we could save time.
Oh, thank you.
And then we have magazines here. I forgot my newspapers, but when you look through a magazine, you find a picture where someone is caring even on a sports team, they're caring enough to work together as a team. And we know that people get hurt in football and basketball and those things, and we need to, and people smiling and walking, and, oh, here's a picture that I found, and it has two boys, little boys, both of them in strollers, and some people are making sure that they have fun, and
good.
they don't look sick, but the caring, it's about caring. And children, of course, need special care.
You know, when you were talking about this, Judy, as I'm going to put these pictures that we cut out on here, it made me think about part of how we see Jesus healing people today. Wonder if...
And look at this picture. It shows somebody putting their arm around another young man that needs. There's a Christmas tree behind it, so it's like Christmas time. Somebody cared enough to decorate it. You can get that out. But to put your arm around somebody.
That there's...
They don't show the mask on this one, which is important to keep each other safe. That's a caring thing to find a picture for too. And I glued it on. And when you have, I don't know, 6 to 8 pictures, you can put them on the back or the front. I did put on the flip chart that I created, I put some on the back too. One shows a lady with a sewing machine making clothes for people, and I read the article around that, and that was for people who, children who lived in the streets. They needed new clothes, and they needed a bath, I'm sure. So
what can we do with these, Judy?
What we do is, and then you can have a ribbon after you, where's the hole punch? Oh, Pastor John has it. After you punch a hole in it, you can take a ribbon or a ring. I think I put that loose binder ring over there by you, and you can put and tie it together. My holes don't quite match up, but that's okay. You can make sure it happens.
Okay.
And then when you tie it with something,
So we're tying it together.
it becomes like a little book or flip chart. And the purpose of it is to help you, as you watch, you'll recognize love and care. And we think we know what it is, but it's good to have pictures to inspire us, to watch. Here's a doctor on the back.
Can
to
I
watch
steal
for
some
those
of your
moments
pictures?
And to make those moments happen where Jesus is in us, to make people laugh. That one, there's one picture that Pastor John found. They're planting a tree. They care enough
That is
to make
nice.
sure,
So
plants
the
give us
reminder then,
oxygen.
is we look at these pictures and they remind us to show God's love to others.
Right.
Can we
to
put-
recognize where love is happening.
I got to thinking and that's dangerous when I get to thinking, that maybe if we took some pictures, even from our newspapers or our magazines, of places where our world, our country, our community need healing, and where we see service, and we could maybe use it as a little diary. I know sometimes we try to remember the news, but maybe this would be a way of us putting some of the things we know we need to pray for, like our government, or like all of the health workers, or I don't know, snow removal people, people who are getting very tired of moving snow, and people who made it in the snow, like Mitzi, even though I have no idea how she made it from her house,
Picture of the president's, our government.
But it could be not just showing others God's love, but asking, how can we show others God's love in the midst of some healing that's needed too? Can I have another picture? I want to put another.
Here's a young man tying a shoe. She's not sick, but she needs help.
Yeah, she
She
doesn't
doesn't
need
know
help.
how to tie her
You
shoe.
you had that one that was a little bit political.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take that, yeah.
Mhm.
And that was people encouraging one another to vote. We know that was, man, that was a hard time for our country. So I think we need to pray and say, Lord, have mercy and help us to understand how to,
Not enough glue.
not enough glue.
Yeah, but plenty of glue.
So we know there's sickness. We know that well, who brings healing?
We do.
We do?
bring
Or,
healing because Jesus is inside of us.
because we don't do it on our own.
I don't know if they heard you on that. You didn't say that
I
into
turned
the
away.
mic. Yeah.
Do we heal on our own?
Jesus inspires us to heal, but it's
bring
Jesus
his
in
healing.
us that brings
Ooh.
that kind of sincere love that people can tell when you're really doing it for yourself or you're doing it actually for them in sincerity and truth, and because you love Jesus. And he died for us, and we put ourselves out there for others too.
So, we can bring, I don't know if you can see this. I'll come out.
I'm gonna bring this picture. I don't know what this picture is about.
We're doing smiles.
You laughed when you saw it.
Oh, it's the one I just showed.
Is it? I love it.
To organize your friends into making others happy. Or laugh. Smile.
Those are always people that
Yeah,
share God's
the
love.
community
So
helpers.
I would say this is, let me see a finished one. Here, mine still has to be worked on.
Okay.
Show others God's love. This would be a neat way of realizing Jesus cared for all sorts of other people, even when they may not be able to have the capacity of caring for themselves in some way. And he brought healing to them because he knew they needed it, not because they were faithful, but because they needed the smile of God to be able to help them come back to life. And this would be a neat way of us being able to just offer our prayers for other people. You know, may we lift them up before God's mercy, you know, and have, oh, that's a doctor taking care of somebody. Yeah, I remember that picture. That may we show God's mercy in ways that we bring healing around to others, and may we know how God's mercy could reach out in ways that our world needs healing, or the people around us need healing.
Right.
That's a great prayer.
And you can add more and add more.
Maybe that
Not
can
just
be our
what God
prayer
today.
then, that we say, God heal us, God help us heal.
So that we can heal
I'd like that.
others.
God heal us, and God help us bring healing. And we can say amen.
Amen.
Amen. And we can invite you to the worship service. We'll talk more about this lesson in the worship service in about 15 minutes at 10:30. There are some of us that are here on this snowy day, and we're ready to go ahead and just worship with everybody online or present with us. But have a blessed day.
See you in a bit.
Bye.